I am going to avoid using the term the administrative state with a nod to a really good paper that he has out currently. I'm really talking about the state of our civil service. Much of our scholarship tends to take kind of a technocratic view, ignoring the political environment in which these bureaucrats are embedded. My argument here is we need to do better in advancing the integration of disciplines that contribute to our understanding of the professional civil service. And as I assess the state of both public administration, again, generically, and political science, again, with an eye towards bureaucratic politics, with respect to the subject of how to shape and bring integrity to the institution of our civil service as a macro scale institution, I am left with an overwhelming takeaway that there is a significant lack of sustained attention in both fields to administrative law. And this inattention has led both fields towards pathologies of managerial and political silos that ignore the rule of law as a pillar of the administrative state and of the U.S. constitutional structure generally. Indeed, I would argue that public administration as an academic enterprise has largely become silent or perhaps not heard in conversations about critical issues of government legitimacy and crisis. Political scientists who study the bureaucracy's relationship with political institutions, on the other hand, often emphasize the political environment and sacrifice an understanding of organizational behavior with implicitly negative assumptions about civil service motives underpinning their theories of delegation, an underappreciation at best of professionalism within the civil service, and an apathy generally to the implications of public administration in action to a robust democratic state. Simply put, constitutional administrative law is not being taught in PA or PS graduate programs. Of the accredited NASPAA programs, for instance, fewer and fewer actually teach law. Another common obstruction to embracing constitutional administrative law is that PA and PS research is that it's an extremely challenging enterprise. Now, democracy and bureaucracy, of course, are seen as almost diametric opposites, but neither can function without the spine of public law. In the US, we've tried over time to consciously and subconsciously retrofit the bureaucracy into the US constitutional regime. And if one subscribes to Madison's precept that the aggregation of all three powers of government is the very definition of tyranny, then it doesn't look good from our political or cultural perspectives to have one agency writing, enforcing, and adjudicating its own rules. Yet, I would argue that it's a serious mistake to recognize the bureaucracy as simply or solely subordinate to an executive. The role of the courts is just largely, glaringly absent, with notable but few exceptions. Finally, by examining the administrative state from the perspective of public law, we might be better positioned to understand the fundamental differences between public and private power. Public administration is lacking in the current domain to contribute to big picture understandings of our professionalized civil service writ large, especially insights that incorporate studies of political institutions and administrative law. In my opinion, the field is thinking small, missing the forest for the trees, and practically, in many ways, incapable collectively as scholars of providing big picture diagnoses of the administrative state as an institution integral to maintaining liberal democracy. Simply, in conclusion, the public administration scholarly community lacks much authority in assessing the state of civil service on a macro scale.